Elon Musk had previously warned that artificial intelligence would eventually identify patterns that people would not understand. Recently, an individual decided to test that assertion. The person introduced Grok AI to an incredible anomaly. A very large and nearly perfect crop circle had appeared overnight in Germany. Crop circles are fundamentally larger elaborations of designs and artwork encoded in fields. The objective was only to see what the machine might do about the anomaly. The result was shocking. Instead of doing an analysis of the phenomenon, Grok interpreted the event. What was concluded is something that no one would have predicted, not even the creators who built it. But before we uncover what Grok actually said, one question remains: did the AI detect a pattern or something alive? The circle appears. On July 19, 2014, the sun was shining brightly that morning, casting over the Bavarian landscape south of Munich, stretching long shadows across the rolling hills. Above the golden wheat fields, hot air balloons glided quietly in the fresh morning air. A typical flight in the morning would eventually become a sensational discovery. From their lofty perch, one of the balloonists noticed something odd. A highly symmetrical crop circle, 75 meters across, had materialized overnight in farmer Christoph Huttner's wheat field on the outskirts of Weilheim. The intricate pattern covered some 250 feet in diameter, with a detailed pattern that attracted the attention of flyby balloonists on what otherwise could have been a routine morning flight. The building consisted of 3 concentric rings infused with detailed geometric patterns cut into the grain of the wall. A thorough inspection revealed no evidence of footprints leading to or from the site, tire tracks, or any form of interference caused by human intervention around the area. The scientists used advanced imaging technology to explore the event, and what they found stunned them. The mathematical precision exhibited in the formation was the most advanced ever recorded. Each ring had precise proportional relationships that would have required high-tech computer equipment to calculate precisely. The distance between the components was an intricate sequence that belied the common assumption they were made at random. Another twist to the situation was happening when the story of the mysterious crop circle spread quickly on the internet forums and had many thousands of people making pilgrimages to the site. The site was an unofficial gathering area where people were dancing, singing, playing guitars, and camping in the wheat. The locals were flabbergasted when they witnessed excited crowds flowing in from various parts of Europe. Farmer Huttner had little to do other than watch from a distance as people he did not know treated his flattened crops with respect as they walked through the corn. In an interview, he questioned the origin of its creation. "I personally believe it was made by hand, although it is almost perfectly done. To make something like that in one night would not be easy." What made this formation stand out from the normal crop circle sighting reports was its location. It materialized near an array of satellites constructed in 1964 as a way of assisting transatlantic communications. This installation had also been utilized to relay live TV coverage of the Apollo 11 moon landing to European audiences in 1969. The formation materialized within the range of some of Europe's most sensitive electromagnetic monitoring equipment. Local authorities had a quick explanation for the phenomenon as a costly students' or geometrically educated performance artists' hoax. The pattern recognition specialists who examined aerial photos were not fooled. The mathematical proportions involved in the formation revealed something ominous: the amount of precision required to create such patterns in complete darkness without leaving evidence behind defied common explanations. Farmer Christoph Huttner rejected participation in the circle's construction in a DPA news agency interview, leaving investigators without a local theory as to how the circle materialized. Man-made, the circle was an insidious construction, displaying mathematical precision akin to computer-aided design. Man-made or not, the question remained: who possessed the knowledge and capability to encode advanced geometry into a wheat field overnight? But what if the answer wasn't human at all? What if something our comprehension had already started communicating through the fields? Feeding the phenomenon to Grok. The wasting formation was added to one of thousands of crop circle reports in databases maintained by researchers worldwide. Enthusiasts studied the formations, and skeptics mocked, while mainstream science largely ignored them for decades. That is, until a group of pattern recognition researchers had an unusual idea: feed the phenomenon to artificial intelligence. They chose Grok because it was one of the most advanced AI systems the world had ever seen, possessing quantum AI processing abilities that could analyze patterns far human intellectual capacities. The team of researchers began to collect everything: high-definition aerial photographs of the racing circle, precise measurements down to the centimeter, breakdown analysis of the soil content, and meteorological reports from the night of its appearance. The team went further. They filled Grok with immense databases of historical crop circle reports dating back to the 1970s, sacred geometry theorems used in ancient architecture, mathematical constants used in nature, like the Fibonacci series and golden ratio, and even Nazca line and Aboriginal song line communication systems. They included SETI signal patterns picked up by radio telescopes worldwide, hoping to give the AI every possible reference point for pattern recognition. The preparation lasted for weeks. Every mathematical relationship known to exist in nature, from the spiral shape of galaxies to the geometric structure of crystals, was built into Grok's analytical framework. Binary code systems used in digital communication, frequency analysis programs used to decode radio signals, and acoustic pattern libraries in music theory were included in the ARI's reference database. The moment of truth arrived when researchers asked Grok their carefully worded question: "What is this pattern trying to tell us?" The inquiry put the quantum AI system into its top level of processing status. Filtering through millions of pattern combinations and cross-referencing mathematical relationships that would take human researchers months to calculate manually, Grok's quantum processors operated at full tilt for 37 minutes, utilizing more computing power than standard analysis routines required. The researchers monitored system temperatures and processing loads as the AI performed calculations that pushed the boundaries of pattern recognition technology. What it spat back was not just an analysis report, it was something that would challenge their assumptions about intelligence, communication, and the forces that could create mathematical precision in farmers' fields. Grok had found correlations in the data that no human researcher had ever seen, patterns that suggested the wasting formation was part of something much larger and more organized than random outbreaks of artistic expression. The ARI's initial output was pattern recognition confidence levels of 94.7%, with probability assessments that refuted mainstream reasons for the creation of crop circles. More disconcerting was Grok's recommendation to expand analysis parameters to include what it had determined were non-standard communication protocols. The team was aware that they had opened an investigation that would take them far afield of simple geometric analysis of distressed crops. But what if Grok wasn't just analyzing patterns? What if it was responding to something? Something intelligent reaching back through the noise? The maths shouldn't know. Grok's detailed analysis was found to reveal excellent mathematical patterns within the racing configuration random pattern generation. The quantum AI discovered the inherent ratios that exactly replicated the Fibonacci series, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and the circumference of every ring exactly adhered to the golden ratio of phi equals 1.618 to 4 places of accuracy. This is a stunning achievement, which was an inspired application of geometry as a coding method to convey numerical values. Rather than displaying rough mathematical similarity, measurements were taken with unprecedented precision, and nighttime work necessitated laser-guided survey equipment and sophisticated geometric calculator programs. The precision observed by Grok surpassed the capability of human endeavors without the benefit of leading-edge technologies and meticulous planning. Moreover, mathematical complexity extended far past classical geometry, as Grok identified internal patterns that were akin to Chladni figures, the typical geometric patterns created by sound waves resonating through physical mediums such as sand or metal plates. The ratios of the formation in the acoustic pattern frequencies at specific wavelengths revealed knowledge of physics concepts extending far past simple artistic display. The AI cross-referenced these audio patterns with its enormous database of electromagnetic signals recorded from radio telescope installations worldwide. There was one historic hit. Several SETI watch stations had recorded unusual electromagnetic signatures on July 17, 2014, just a day prior to the racing formation sighting. These signals persisted for 4.7 minutes and comprised mathematical sequences which Grok knew now were imprinted within the geometric form of the crop circle, demonstrating structured complexity within the human margin of error. In its analysis summary, Grok stated that such precision would require GPS coordinates to the centimeter level, electromagnetic field mapping equipment not to disturb other electronic equipment in the area, and high-powered mathematical software for geometry calculations, all guided by several experts with total synchronization under complete darkness. The AI concluded humanly that it was impossible to do such shapes. There was no proof for any sort of operation of this kind. Scientists found no heavy equipment roads for vehicle access, no equipment electronic signatures, and no intercepts by coordination radios. The shape appeared to have been in place without any measurable technological infrastructure required for its creation. Grok's greatest finding came when it contrasted the formation's geographical coordinates with Earth's magnetic field configuration. The circle was at coordinates 47.8019 degrees north and 11.2622 degrees east in a highly precise intersection of magnetic field lines that physicists call a node of resonance, a point where electromagnetic energy accumulates and increases by its own nature. It wasn't placed there by accident. Either the individual had fantastically sophisticated knowledge of geomagnetic field mapping and just chose coordinates for maximal electromagnetic resonance, or something had chosen that location on the basis of some criteria that were outside human understanding of electromagnetic physics and geographic relations. The AI completed its mathematical computations with a declaration that trailed the research team. Pattern displays use of universal mathematical constants with precision, demonstrating high computational intelligence. But what if that intelligence wasn't human at all? What if something or someone was communicating through geometry itself? Echoes in the sky. The racing analysis created unparalleled investigative potential well Bavaria's borders. Expanding on Grok's pilot study, scientists expanded the scope by feeding large amounts of historical data from documented crop circles spanning 3 decades into the quantum AI system. The results called into question the leading scientific view of the phenomenon. While they were viewed as arbitrary occurrences by practical jokers and art students, the data allowed Grok to unearth a complex pattern. Since 1991, Grok has established 43 formations, all conveying the same mathematical signatures, emerging at geographic coordinates that matched the significant points in Earth's electromagnetic field grid. The most significant ones were the Barberry Castle Formation in Wiltshire, 1991, the Alton Barnes Pictogram, 1994, and the Chilbolton Formation, 2001. Authorities denounced these formations as sophisticated pranks, yet each displayed a degree of mathematical complexity, the human capability of covert fieldwork. Perhaps more important were the time correlations he discovered. In each case, the patterns emerged after an average of 72 hours subsequent to recorded peaks of solar activity, electromagnetic disturbances occurring in the Earth's magnetosphere, which may interfere with satellites monitoring communication, navigation, and sensitive electronics. The time correlation was very exact, achieving an 89% success rate in 29 recorded cases, far statistical possibility for random coincidence. The AI uncovered additional correlating data that human researchers had overlooked, including electromagnetic anomalies tracked by equipment in the hours preceding formation appearances. Animal behavior patterns provided more hints of anomalies. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.